sting me.
Fall beautiful right now, man.
Yeah, I'm
This is a
really,
beautiful fall.
I'm liking it. It's hot for like
Yeah.
no reason, but
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah.
If it was like 70, nah,
It's
like
like 80 degrees right
65,
now. Maybe with the sun, it's kind of throwing me off. But it's
it's
like
about,
it feel like 80.
yeah, the sun's throwing
It's
you off.
definitely 80 degrees right here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's about,
In this
about
little
80.
spot, yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Um,
It felt good last night. Maybe it was the shrooms, but it felt good last night.
Now, last night wasn't cool.
Yeah.
last night was probably like 50, 60.
Yeah.
Me too.
It be dropping for sure.
Ooh, these bottles, bro.
All right. Do you introduce it as 40i amp or is that all caption?
That's been all captioned in the
Type.
past. You can do it. You can introduce it as
Type, type, type.
we're moving the music and shit because it's a weird little shot.
This is number 4.
Uh, Prince, Kayla, Belvedere, yeah, 4.
Yeah.
When are y'all dropping the first one?
The first one's
This week,
dropped.
Thursday.
This week? Nice.
First one's dropped on Instagram. I think that's it. Kayla's dropping on Instagram when?
Next Thursday.
Uh,
Alright. Last thing. Clap sync. I'm clapping your face, but it's just,
For sure.
so I can sync up the cameras.
For sure.
Alright.
all right. 40i amp. Episode 4. 4. Malik Tree. I feel like this one's been a long time coming. You
Sure.
start by introducing yourself, kind of where you're from, and then kind of what got you into this.
Ooh, shit. Name's Malik. Stage name Malik Tree. Most of my people just call me Tree for the most part. It's kind of hard to say where I'm from. I moved around a lot. I just say Maryland for the most part. Music has always been there, like growing up, especially when you move around a lot, you always want something to hold on to. I think music was always that one thing for me.
So you talk about music kind of, and where you've grown up, it's been scattered. Has there been like different musical like influences from each of those places?
Yeah, I mean, I think most of my influence comes from my parents, if I'm being honest. Like, what they listen to. Like, I lived in Hyattsville for some time, and I guess you can call it the hood, whatever. And like, I guess my folks, they was always listening to shit like, like Jeezy and like 50 or just like straight go-go, you know what I mean? Keep up with the city and shit. Cause my mom, she from the city, but I don't really think it's too much of where I lived as like what influence what I listened to. It was just more like my parents. They listen to everything, like everything, and like you just saw my pops, but you probably like he's from LA originally, so he was always on like Pac and like surprisingly he was more into the East Coast, like Big L and like Biggie and Big Pun and shit like that. So I'd probably say it's more like my parents than anything, and like their experiences and what they went through before, and then me coming into this world and they kind of just threw that all on me, all their taste and everything.
So like, based off of that, what can you say? When did you start music?
First song I made, I was 14, I think. 14? Yeah, 14. I first started writing when I was like, I want to say like 8 or 9. I wrote like, in the 5th grade, they had like this little testing, like this statewide testing, MSA. And we had like a little rally for it at our elementary school. And I wrote the rally. It was like over an Eminem beat. I don't remember which one, but I guess that you could call that the first one. But the first like actual song like on wax was like I was like 14. I was a freshman in high school. It was horrible, but you know it was a start. It was a start.
So you're bringing up kind of that like East Coast influence. So I asked you kind of like I wanted to frame like where you started your music and that together. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like what I take from it, it's kind of like a boom bap sound to it. Is that where
Yeah.
it started?
That's yeah, that's definitely where it started. I don't think that's like the whole direction I'm looking at anymore, but that's like 100% where it started. It started with that like who's gonna have the best bars, who's gonna have like the last verse on this song. You know what I mean? So that's definitely where it started.
Kind of
Especially
like that competitive. Kind
yeah, that was like that's what really got me into it was like that competitive nature with like my homies like um, my homie Charles, he was like the one dude coming up when I was first making music that I always wanted to be better than because I thought he was better than me. And anytime I was in the studio with him, it was just like, I'm gonna get this last verse. You're not getting this last verse. He's like, nah, I'm gonna get this last verse. We have so many songs where it's like, it's probably like 6 to 8 songs, and 4 of them I got the last verse, 4 of them he got the last verse, and it was just fun, you know. So I think that's what really got me going into it and really got me better because I had somebody next to me who I thought was better than me, you know. And I think that there's nothing better than like being in the studio with somebody like that you could just like go brain to brain with. Like you could just bounce ideas off each other and like sit there and it's like it's really not ego driven. It's more just like we can get the best out of each other. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing, the process.
it's a collaboration, you could say.
Yeah.
Um, coming off that point, um, what can you say has like, let's say like, what can you say your music? Once you decide to take it seriously,
I think there was a few times where I thought I was taking it seriously. Um, I think I didn't really take it really seriously until I turned like 20. I'm 22 now. But like I said, I've been doing this since I was 14. So like the idea of this being my path and like what I make a career out of or whatever it is, I think like it was 2 years ago where I was like, I'm actually good at this and I still love this. Like this is not something that I was just doing as a teenager. Like this is something I want to keep doing. And it's like, especially like the fact that I'm not popular. Like I don't have that many fans. Like, but I'm still doing it, you know, because it's the gratification for myself. That's where I become selfish. It's like this is for me at the end of the day. So I don't know. Yeah, I think back to my point of like there was a couple times where I thought I was being serious. Like when I first started, like 15, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be the next big thing. Like fuck this, I'm not going to school no more. Like I was skipping school every day. I was going to a studio up in Montgomery Village for like 2 weeks straight. I get to school, hop on the metro, do whatever, get down to Montgomery Village and just record all day. And I thought I was taking it serious back then, but I wasn't. I was really, I don't know what I was doing. You know what I mean? Like I really don't. I don't. I was just like, it was more of me being a rebel than anything. Like just leaving school and gonna go do what I love to do instead of this shit right here. But it wasn't until like I got out of school when I was like, okay, I can actually take this serious. And like maybe I can actually put like money into this and effort and actually like do things with other people. Like Genesis was fucking, that's a step for me, you know what I mean? Because I don't put myself in that type of those type of places enough. But that's another step in me taking this serious, is putting myself in those spaces where I can, you know, perform for people and show them my work.
I'm also glad you brought that up. You know, I was asking a lot of questions about your history, kind of rapping, doing this, and and then you bring up Genesis. Um, so I'm kind of building this timeline in my head. So I know that 2019 is probably the earliest I can see from your music. That's the earliest I can see on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
But you say you've been rapping for much longer.
Yeah.
And then even then, to put Genesis in perspective, I remember you telling me like, it's been a long time since I performed.
Yeah.
And then like we really connected on that, cause I feel like it was like, wow, like this is something that I really want to bring to the forefront. And so, like, it brought me joy to see that somebody else was kind of seeing that as like a step in their kind of their pathway, their creation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, what can you say? What can you say that did for you? I guess.
I mean, it just made me more comfortable with being around people I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, that's the biggest barrier for me. I deal with a lot of like anxiety and just like, I wouldn't call it stage fright, because like as soon as I get on the stage, I feel like I'm at home. But I just deal with a lot of like not trusting people, and like in the past, this wouldn't happen. We'd be at somebody else's house. We'd be like in the middle of the woods or something shit. Like, I wouldn't invite y'all to my house. But it's like that's opened me up to want to do things like this, you know, just to want to get my name out there. Not even that, just to collaborate with people, especially people whose like work I admire. You know, I look at y'all work all the time. I'm like, damn, they doing this. I love seeing that. So I think that really just opened that up for me, because Genesis it's only the second time I've ever performed.
Yeah.
First time I performed was 2020 in February, like right before COVID started, and like that was fun, and I got booked for more shows after that, but then COVID, and then I kind of just got into a shell and just stopped working with people and stopped trying to like reach out to people and try to perform at their venues and stuff like that.
So another question is like, what do you value in that creative process? You know what I'm saying? Because you described that you're kind of anxious individual. It's hard to trust with people that you haven't worked with before, or just performing in front of crowds. What part of the creative process is that for you? You get what I'm saying? Like,
I think I know what you're saying. I think the overall like camaraderie and just the idea bouncing is what I like the most about it, especially like collaborating with people. And even like I spoke before, like just competition, like a friendly competition. It's like we're all really good at our craft. It's like, how can we put that together? And like, it's almost like we're going against each other, but we're on the same team. You know, it's like practice. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you get better. I feel like I'm not answering your question though.
no,
I feel like I'm not.
You answered perfectly. What I was trying to get you to say is kind of like you value it being natural. Like,
Okay, exactly,
value
I value the rawness of these interactions, and like the rawness of being in the studio. Like, if you listen to my music sometimes, like you listen to Fake Names, or you listen to Deadlines, like those are like really raw forms of me, and I value that a lot. And like just the natural, and just like not I guess wholesome, but like this is just like this is real, you know what I mean? Like, this is
connection.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's really cool. I guess I could say like a song that did it for me is the song I found out about, like when I met you, and the first song I listened to. I'm saying it's probably your recent one. I'm trying to remember what it's called right now. Where you been?
Where you been? Yeah.
Where you been?
Yeah.
That one kind of struck out to me because, again, the rapping, it felt personal. It felt personal, and then kind of just, I don't even know, the beat that you chose to rap on, that sample at the end of the end kind of sound at the end, like what made that for you?
Like, really, I was in the studio with a good friend of mine, Sage, and you know, whenever we're in the studio, it's always like 5-6 hour sessions of just like bullshitting and like just putting down whatever, like just hella experimental. And they were making a beat for me at one point, and that was just that first part of Where You Been. And the Where You Been originally was like a 2 minute song, or it was like a 2 minute beat all the way through. Like that ending wasn't there, and then I just decided to cut it after a minute, because Sage had some vocals that they were working on, that they weren't in. I was like, throw it on the end of Where You Been. That sounds fucking perfect. So it's actually not bad. It's my friend Sage. They just a bunch of vocals stacked on top of each other. But I just thought that ending was so perfect. Like it, and like in the writing process, like at the end where I'm like, I'm holding, fuck, what did I say? I'm crashing, I'm never holding my tongue, some shit like that. But like at the end I said, I'm never holding my tongue, but at the end when I'm saying tongue, it cuts off and then the static comes in, and then their voice comes in, and it's just, I feel like it was perfect. It gave me goosebumps when I first listened to it. So I was like, yeah, this is it. Like it just gave you that feeling, you know what I mean? Like when you're in the studio and it's all about energy. Like it just, that feeling was like, it was crazy. I can't even put that into words, how I felt that first time. Can I ask you a question? You ever like get surprised about your work? Like you ever just like do something and you're like, shit, like I did that?
Yeah. It's like creation for me, like it's still something that I am like getting this level of comfort with. Although I know that there's like these grand ideas in my head that I want to push out to the world, I never truly feel like it's like well communicated until people see it. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
100%, yeah.
until people see it, and it's like, you know, I'll even be honest. This is my first interview. This is like my first time doing it like live.
Nice.
Like I'm always prepared right down, and it's like honestly, when I get when I see like this kind of raw creation from people, that really inspires me. That's what I was trying to say. You know, I'm listening to you like how you put together that song, and that's not even what I expected. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's kind of the joy in it for me. You know what I'm saying? Um, I'm kind of blanking. I agree. Kind of blanking. Satisfaction. Yeah.
I think the reason I asked that question was because when I made Where You Been, that was one of those where I was like, what the fuck? Like, like, cause that was just so like right then and there. It was like, I was just sitting there like, did I really just make this? Did I really just put that together the way that I did?
Kind of when you're like making things, it's like you get this kind of like almost get a detachment from it. Honestly,
Yeah.
kind of a detachment where I'm like, wow, this is really good. There's nowhere
Yeah.
I could have put this together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You put that together with you and your friend. That was just y'all.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't no. Somebody said, you know what? That would be cool. I feel like this sound together. That was like really a raw.
Yeah. 100%. I think I like that part of the process too. It's like having a sense of control in your own work. That's always been something that I've held on to. Like, and I think that's another reason I don't work with too many people is because like I like having a sense of control with my work. And it's like, not to say like it can't go other ways, but it's like, or that it always has to be my way or the highway. But it's like sometimes that's how it feels. It's like if it's not gonna go this way, then let's just not do it. You know what I mean? That's mostly just for like music though. Like, and that's why I don't really do too many music collaborations. Like, I really only do that with my close friends for the most part. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's important to kind of work out in that space.
Yeah, especially when you don't really have much as it is. Like just like you said, like when you go look at my work, the earliest you can see is 2019, which is probably Get Down. I think that's like my one of the only songs I left on SoundCloud from like when I was still in high school. Cause if I pull it on my laptop and go on my SoundCloud now, there's archives of shit from like 2016 and 2017. Like I dropped EPs in 2016, 2017, and 2018. And then 2019 with Just Breathe. But yeah, I wasn't really sure where I was going with that. But
I guess I could say like I noticed from you that you have this creative control, and why I referenced your discography, I said you're building it. When I saw you perform, it was like it really was like we entered your world. You know what I'm saying, and like I'm trying to remember what song you did.
the last two songs I did were unreleased.
It was
So
going like dun dun dun. You released that one. I know you did.
oh, are you talking about the first one?
Yeah,
The first one, yeah, that was the first one was middle of the summer.
yeah.
Yeah. Second one I did was Free Ride, I believe. Free Ride, that's the one I'm working on with Josh for the video. And then the third one, Final Masking. That's what it was called, Final Masking. That one me and Sage made too. Sage is crazy with the samples and shit.
Talking about what's that?
Shit, I don't even. They just made an Instagram. I'd have to. Sage something. Let's see if I can find it. But like, as I speak about Sage, Sage isn't really in the space of making music at the moment. So it's a sagez dot underscore on Instagram. I go give my boy a follow. What was I saying? Yeah, that last one that I did, that one I wasn't really sure how that was gonna go with the crowd, cause that was one where I really had to be on point with the beat, and when I was looking back at the performance, I was kind of off. But like, and it's also kind of unfinished. It's like there's still like a whole nother minute to the beat. I just kind of cut it for the performance because that part I wasn't really too sure on. But yeah,
I'm glad you went up there and did that.
yeah,
Like, there's this distance between the times when you performed, and I mentioned your creative control because you went on stage and you rapped like you did this before, like you did this mad times before.
yeah.
That was interesting to me. How many times have you performed other than
That was my second time.
second time performing?
Yeah, ever. Like the first time I performed was just like this random hookah bar in like Northwest. I was I think I was 2020. I was like 18, I think. What are we 20? No, I was 17. I was 17, and at that point I had little to nothing. Like I had no music. I had that little EP out, Just Breathe, and all my other music I deleted it or archived it. And it's weird. Like on the way to that performance, I had never been so nervous in my life, or like felt like I was in a shell more in my life. Like I was in the car, AirPods on, listening to the songs I was about to perform, and everybody in the car around me was just kind of trying to get my attention and talk to me. And I just like, I wasn't there. I was too into what was about to happen. Yeah. And I was just so nervous about it. And we get to the hookah lounge and I'm sitting in the back and it's like 10 people that go before me. And I'm like the second to last person that goes. And I'm like, shit. Like this is kind of a lot on me. And they call my name and it's like everything just went away. Like they call my name, I go up there and I grab the mic and it was just so natural. I couldn't really explain it to you because I don't know. It's almost like you black out when you get to that point. And that's how I felt at Genesis too, because when I was at Genesis, I felt I felt weird because it was still like I'm still trying to get comfortable with putting myself in those places, like I said, and like being in a place with other creatives where we're all just showing off our talents or what we love to do. But it was the same thing. As soon as I got there, I was all, I remember Josh coming up to me and was like, yeah, we're about to go up, come stand over here. And I was just like, all right, cool. And I'm just like, fucking, I'm losing my shit in my head, but I'm trying to play it real cool. But as soon as I got the mic, I felt like it was just time to go. It was just like another day at work, just clocking in. And it's kind of weird being at that point when you don't do that often and you don't have that recognition yet. But it just felt natural. I'm not really too sure why, because maybe it could be like that psychological thing, like growing up and wanting to be this and like sitting in your shower with the fucking toothbrush and like rapping your favorite Drake songs. Like, it could be that, but
I can honestly relate with that. It's like you built up to this point, like before you get to a venue, before I get to a shoot, or like kind of built up in this point, like I am a rapper, I'm an artist, I'm this photographer that knows exactly what he's doing, or I'm this artist who's gonna go on stage and give like a good performance because I've done practice my music and I did all that. Like it can be difficult. Like it kind of puts you in this place of like I don't know. I'm blanking again, bro. Can we cut this, bro?
Bro, it's cool.
Yeah, just keep it running.
it's part of the process.
Yeah.
You gotta love it though, bro. Like, at least the way I see it, when it comes to just to like give you a little comparison, like, you're in the studio and you start to get frustrated because you have an idea, but you can't fucking fully get that idea on wax. Like, at the end of the day, it's a process. Like, you gotta love that shit. Like, for me at least, like, I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't love all that hard shit I had to go through, like, to get these songs done. Like, deadlines, the whole reason why deadlines even happened was because my cousin Jamel texted me and was like, I need you to drop a tape, bro. Like, I need you to drop something. Like, you've been holding off for too long. And he called me every fucking day, like, yo, what you working on, this and that. And it was so frustrating, bro. It was so fucking frustrating. Yeah, because I get in the studio and I couldn't make a damn song. Like, it was just weird. It was like writer's block, I guess. But you go through that shit, and there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Like, deadlines was my light. It was one text that he sent me that ended up being the cover, that put that little battery in my back and was like, okay, I'm gonna just fucking go in the studio and tell him how mad I am at him about him trying to give me deadlines and shit. Like,
I think your
Yeah.
last bar on that song, probably the last two words you said was "just wait."
yeah, I was like, I was like, Jamel, I love you, dog. Well, fuck your deadline date. Man, I love you, dog. Well, fuck that deadline date. Do this shit my way. Fuck your deadline date. And then I was like, I think at the end I said, be patient. I think that's what I said, yeah. I was like, just be patient. And that was like that was an ode to him. That was an ode to him, because he's been pushing me since I first started. He's been one of those guys who was like not really around the process too much, but was always right there to like tell me what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, and how to move, So.
I think as an artist, it helps to have the motivators.
Mhm.
Somebody will tell you probably like, just be still, stay with it, keep doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you
Like,
need that shit, bro, cause you get in your head as an artist sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, especially when you feel like people are not looking at you enough. You get frustrated. It's frustrating being an artist sometimes, especially when you love what you're doing and it's not coming out how you like it. It's fucking frustrating. But I was trying to add on to your point, but I kind of
Yeah,
forgot.
I could say that like when you're creating, sometimes you can get sort of this fear.
Yeah.
How are there more people that like motivate you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like, it's a weird thing because it's like anytime I show somebody my music, they're always like, why is this not out? You know, because it's always unreleased music that I'm showing people, and it's like, why are you not putting this out? Why are you not in the studio right now? Like, my manager at work is like, you can go home right now and go fucking record if you want, bro. Like, why are you, you know what I mean? Like, just, it's almost like anybody that I show my music to, it's like, they try to put that battery back in my back because they're like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, why are you standing right in front of me right now? Why are you not putting shit out? Like, but I think other than that, like, obviously, like, my close friends, you know, my dog Andy, he's been there from the jump. Like, he would help me pay for studio sessions back in high school sometimes, like, just so we could get into the studio and I could be in that space, because he knew how much I wanted to be in those spaces and how much I just couldn't sometimes. My dog Bishop, he's a photographer as well, and he's the one I started with. He's the one I started with. He was the producer, and I was the rapper. And you know, you grow. Everybody goes in their own routes, but like, him and his photography is shit. I knew that was gonna come out. I ain't know when though. Shit. Yeah, I don't know. I could give you a whole list of people. You know what I mean? Like, people that have really helped me out and motivated me. I think that's too much to say, honestly. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of folks and like, I'm grateful for that, you know, because not everybody has that support system. Not everybody has a mom and a dad like me who have, like, they give me a whole basement. Like, I have a whole room that's a studio. So not everybody has that, so I'm grateful. And that just motivates me every day. It's every day. It's every day. My dad will listen, like, I'll show my mom and dad a song and they're like, oh shit, you putting this out? I'm like, we'll get there, like, we'll get there. But yeah, I just wanted to show you, like, or even like my siblings, bro. Like, I got 3 little siblings, and the youngest two, my 2 youngest brothers, they're always asking me, they're always fucking around. Like, my youngest brother, Omar, he always comes up to me, he's like, when's the album dropping? When's the album dropping? I'm like, tomorrow. Just fuck around with him. He'll even like give me ideas of like album names and shit like that. So it's really just, it's everybody, man. It's anybody who's willing to listen and like actually sit there and listen and give me a real opinion, rather than just like tell me that it's good and move on, you know.
Do you ever get the sense that like when you take this type of ownership over your ideas, ownership over your music, like that people kind of begin to reflect it back to you? I feel like that's what you've been talking about,
What do you mean?
like okay, because you stepped out one day, you said, I really want to start rapping. Like those times when you start taking it serious, is that when you started to get kind of that feedback from people, or was it like
Nah,
there a disconnect?
nah, there was definitely a disconnect because I think that was a part of it, like me thinking I was taking it seriously. Like when I first started rapping, like I said, I was skipping school all the time, and you know, no parent is gonna agree with that type of shit. You know, they're not gonna deal with that. Like I got kicked out for like a week, but like it wasn't until I think I did my first show where people started coming around, like my family members at least, because I think my mom and my dad, they definitely struggled with the idea of me wanting to take this path and wanted me to put my all into this one thing that's so uncertain, you know. But at this point, it's like if I need something in that realm and they can help me, they will. Shit. Um, yeah, I think there definitely was a disconnect from the beginning, like from the beginning stages. But I think now there's really no disconnect. They're really just waiting on me at this point. At this point, it's like do something. You know, you've been telling us for years like this is what you want to do, and you were doing those things, but um, keep going. You know what I mean? Like just keep it pushing. You know, my people are really honest with me, really fucking honest. They'll tell me when I'm fucking up or when I'm not doing enough, or like if I tell them what I want to do, they're like, okay, what the hell are you doing to put that into place? Like they're really honest with me, and I appreciate that.
So you covered kind of where you come from with this stuff, your support system. Um, talked about you performing. Covered a lot. um, I guess I could ask you. I'll send it back to you. Like, what do you have planned now? Like, since you decided to keep it going, what do you have planned now?
I think I'd be lying if I just gave you like one thing, cause it's like you never stop creating, right? Like you know, you always got ideas, and
It's more like what's in the future for you.
I think what I want is more of this. You know, more exposure, obviously, but also just more collaborating and being in spaces where I can network with other people and really just do more of this, you know. And obviously building the discography, like you said, because I have a lot of tracks on the back burner, you know, a shit ton. I'll show you some, but I think it's just building me, just in general, just building me and who I'm gonna be as far as this goes, because I've taken so many paths, like what I thought I was gonna do in this shit. Like I thought I was gonna be boom bap. I thought I was gonna be this sad rapper. I thought I was gonna be this and that. So I think just like building onto my persona and what I have to show is definitely in the future.
It's important that you talked about like building on your persona. And I want to mark that because I want to know like what does Malik Tree mean? Like I know your name's Malik, but where did Tree come from? Like what made what made your name?
I was really hoping you wasn't gonna ask that shit. I ain't gonna lie. Um, Honestly, there's no really. I think I grew with the name, but there wasn't too much of a meaning when I first came up with it. I was if I'm not mistaken, I know I was in a car with my mother, and we was riding back from seeing my grandpa in jail. I think either riding back or going to the jail to go see him, and it was just really pretty. Like I just seen really pretty trees, and I was just like, Malik Tree, like that sounds right. You know what I mean? And like I was like a big pothead and like, you know, smoking all the time, whatever. And it kind of just it fit, or at least I felt like it fit. And then, but like as of now, it's kind of grown a little bit, which is unironic. You know, I mean, ironic or whatever. You can what I can take from it now, if I really wanted it to have a meaning, is more like how a tree grows. You know, it has its roots, it needs its water, its soil. You know, it can't start up by itself. And it's like, if you ever just watch a plant grow, it's a beautiful thing. You ever watch a time lapse of a plant grow, it's a beautiful thing. So I mean, I think I grew with it, and it can have different meanings. But if I'm being 100% honest with you, when I first made the name, it wasn't really nothing. It was just kind of like, oh, that's some pretty ass trees on the way to go see my grandpa. You know what I mean? Like,
Honestly, it's natural.
yeah.
I wasn't looking for a super philosophical.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I'm glad you said that. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that. That kind of puts it into like perspective of like what this like what was a part of the whole process. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was a part of that? And that was a part of it. You know what I'm saying?
Especially, I mean, it's like, it's still like a personal thing at the end of the day, because because of like where it happened and what was going on while that happened. Um, yeah, my grandpa's a really somebody I really love and like is dear to me. So having that connection to the name is nice. You know what I mean? It's nice.
From this point on, I'd like to just direct you. You can shout out the playlist. I know we have a playlist coming for you.
Oh shit, I didn't know that. What should I say? Shit. Yeah, name's Malik Tree. Call me Tree if you want when you see me. Got the 40-hour playlist coming soon. It's been fun.
All right.
Did I look at the right camera? Was I supposed to look at this one or you?
It don't matter.
Oh, okay.
It don't matter which camera.
All right.
They were all recording. So.
Is there anything else you want to get? Because honestly,
Oh, last thing.
I was blanking a lot.
No, you're good.
And it's good. I feel like it should come out good.
No, that was good. That was nice. Yeah, that was fun.
Introduce yourself. Say where you're from. Says, hey, I'm Josh from New Jersey. I'm a photographer. Da, 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 da.
For sure. No. I'm Malik. I'm from Maryland. I'm a artist. And fuck, I forgot what else you said to say. That's it? All right, cool. All right. Oh shit. My name's Malik. Malik Tree. Call me Tree if you like. I'm from Maryland and I'm an artist.